This week's podcast brought to you by the Beefy Boys, three cool dudes hanging out talking about music, video games, and sports, and anything else that hits our fancy.
Check them out at www.beefyboys.com or on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Yeah. If you love their logo, you can buy their merch, www.cafepress.com/beefyboysmerch1.
And oh, baby, you know you're going to find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Find us on Twitter at Beefy_Boys. And you can find us on Instagram at Official Beefy Boys, because it is official. Make us blue check marked, keep following us, and you can find us on Facebook at the Beefy Boys. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Beefy. A good podcast requires a good beer. So that's why I always go to my go-to, Keystone Light. If I'm going to the store, I don't want to buy a 12-pack. I want to go for a legit 15-pack. When I go to a party, I don't take Rainier. I take Keystone Light. And you know what? It tastes so good, I'm going to have it right now. Cheers, folks. Yeah, there's a burp coming in. That's good.
What up, knuckleheads? Welcome to episode 120 of the Beefy Boys Bud Club. I'm Joe, and I'm joined here with Vito.
What's up?
What's been going on, man? Just me and you today. It is Easter Sunday. We record on Sundays. To peel back the curtain, this isn't a live show. That would be so weird. Just broadcast it live. Oh, man. Do people do that?
We record it like a live show, though.
That's true. It kind of is. Live to tape, as the kids say. We could just, somehow open it up. What is that new platform everyone's been using to do their, live podcasts? But,
Twitch?
No. It's oh, God, what is it called? It's so dumb. You have to be, invited to listen to the conversation, and, it's basically, celebrity TED Talk podcasts, but, you can have, a pay-to-enter. Oh, what the hell is it called? And, Twitter is stealing the idea. I can't remember, but it's the stupidest thing. It's
Is it TikTok?
Sorry, is it what?
Is it TikTok?
No, it's not TikTok. It's meeting rooms or some shit. What the fuck is that new? Oh,
yeah,
man.
no, I have no idea.
It's going to drive me nuts. I know I'm going to remember it right after we stop recording. I wanted to ask Christian about the stupid Fan Control Football League final, which was amazing. But I'm sure he didn't watch it because he doesn't know what Twitch is. Oh, man.
I'm sure he probably knows what Twitch is. COD's on Twitch.
Well, every time I tell him to watch the fan-controlled football league, he's like, I can't. I don't have Twitch. And I'm like, yes, you do. Everyone does. You have an Amazon account, man. Get out of here.
Also, you don't need to subscribe to what?
Yeah, that too. Yeah, ultra dumb. Anyway. Been playing a lot of games on my old PC. I'm telling you, man, that PC Game Pass thing that I got for $1, whew. Got all the games on there.
Nice.
It's so cheap.
Reminds me of one of those old things. It's 99 games or 200 games in one cartridge.
Yeah, except this isn't bootleg Super Mario Brothers or whatever. I got one of those and I was so bummed out. My uncle got it for me, and I was so bummed out because those things were such bullshit. And sure, it says 40 games in one cart, but 30 of them are Mario clones and 25 of them don't work. So, okay, great. Yeah, it was such BS. Anyway, thanks. That was all for those Chinatown bootlegs in New York City.
Yep.
Oh, man.
I mean, they were everywhere, but yeah.
Have you heard of this game, Tell Me Why? Did you play
No.
Life is Strange at all? Or do you know about Life is Strange?
Oh,
you cut out there for a second. Yeah.
I haven't. I don't really know what it is, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's from the same studio. These are narrative adventure games. The first one, it's a high school girl, and so it gets very stereotypical, but then it gets weird. So it's very much high school drama meets Twin Peaks. You have time manipulation powers. In this game, you play two twins in this small Alaska town who are trying to figure out, well, I mean, it says it's a murder mystery. It's not a mystery. You know from the beginning that the twins killed their mom. You're really trying to figure out why. Like, what the hell happened that led to that sequence of events that caused the twins to kill their mom when they were 11? So it's a very intriguing exploration. And, you know, it's all like conversation, but it's... Video games do not keep Ara's attention unless I'm playing one of these don't nod games like this one, you know? She was very into it. She's like, these choices are tough. I don't know. Should we forgive this person or not? I'm like, I don't know. You know? So it was three episodes. We did it yesterday, or Friday and yesterday. So now I have to figure out what I'm going to play next. That's where I'm at. My wrists have been hurting. I don't know if it's because of the way I've been gaming, but it doesn't hurt like in a carpal tunnel way. Like, it's not tingly, you know? It's just... It could also be that I've been playing Ring Fit Adventure, which, you know.
Do you have those, like the resting thing for your keyboard and mouse?
I have a lap desk, and so like my posture is right. My arms are straight. Everything's
and
everything. Oh, you mean wrist pads?
There's like these little pads you can get for, or like mouse pads that have like a pad on them. Or the, yes, as my wife says, like the anime titty ones. There's also the, like, long ones that you can put...
under your keyboard, yeah.
Like, right next to your keyboard and stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know that it's even the keyboard, honestly, because I've been doing the Ring Fit Adventure thing, and it involves, like, a Pilates ring, and it's been a lot of, like, squeezing this Pilates ring, so that could just be...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Because, like, I looked it up, and everyone's like, well, as long as, you know, your correct posture is, like, the keyboard is below your arms a little bit, so that they're facing down, and then you're not twisting you're not, like, bending your wrist at all. And I looked at it, I'm like, this is exactly what's happening, so I don't think it's my posture. I think it's just something else, you know. I am sore from doing my goofy work.
Well, there's some stretches that you probably know of already, because most people do, but...
I know. I should work out my wrist, you know?
Yeah.
You know, like the first time you do a push-up in 6 months, you're like, God, this really fucks with my wrist. This can't be good for you. And then the internet's like, suck it up. It's really not that bad, yo. Okay, fine.
Well, you try fucking pushing up 300 pounds.
Yeah, exactly. Weak-ass arms.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I've never been able to do a pull-up in my whole life. Maybe one day. Did you guys have to do that in gym class? You're a little younger than me. Did you have to do, like, the President's Fitness Challenge and all that shit?
I don't know, but I just couldn't do any of that shit. Like, I literally could only do, like, one push-up ever.
They didn't make you run the mile or, like, do how many pull-ups can you do in 60 seconds? And the answer is 0 and has always been 0 for my whole
Yeah,
life.
exactly. Yeah, I think they did stuff like that, but I didn't really pay much attention to it because I couldn't do it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's not like I wasn't strong either. I'm just not strong in a way that I can lift my own fucking weight.
I was a fucking weakling in high school, man. I was just, When I started working on fishing boats, that's when I started to build strength. But, like, I would lose arm wrestling contests to, like, 12-year-old girls when I was 15. It was bad. It was, how am I so weak?
Well, I feel like arm wrestling is also a very, like, specific muscle, too.
Yeah.
Because I could throw Sam into the dumpster on accident, but I also couldn't arm wrestle him. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember that when he almost went in with the fucking trash can?
Vaguely. Do you remember when I went to move the non-slip mat, but Ara was still standing on it, so I just dragged her across the room?
Oh, jeez, no.
Because, you know, you usually just throw them, so I just picked it up to throw it, but she was on it, so she just was somewhere and then like a foot to the left right afterward. She didn't fall down. Like, very impressive.
Wow.
Oh, that place. I haven't been in there recently. I need to get my stuff.
Yeah, I haven't been in there either.
You live right there, though.
Yeah, but I don't need to go there.
I see.
Like literally all of my free time is spent like at home because like going out for 10 hours is just like a lot after not having to do that for a while.
Yeah. No, yeah, I remember like, when I first got a job after being unemployed for a while, it's like, how do people do anything during the day? Like, when I was working at Jiffy Lube is a perfect example for this because I had been unemployed for 6 months beforehand, which I think is one of the longest times I'd ever been unemployed. And I would just go out and I would come home and I didn't even have like the energy to watch TV. I would just immediately fall asleep either on my couch or in my bed. Sometimes without changing my clothes or washing myself. So like there were oil stains on my sheets. Oh, I don't know how people do this. Like, yeah. Then eventually you just develop a routine, and it's like, all right, I definitely could go to the grocery store for 20 minutes today, But at first it wasn't possible.
Yeah, I also like just get everything delivered because pandemic.
Yeah.
And also that's kind of how I want to do things anyway normally.
Yeah.
Like literally pandemic life is kind of like how I just want to live. If I'm being honest. Except I'm unfortunately one of the people who didn't get any time off from it. Yeah. But I am fortunately one of the people who didn't like lose a job and didn't have any money.
Ara and I like to take these like little vacations. I took a week off, but like it doesn't really. I don't know. A vacation isn't the same if we're just in my bedroom anyway. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the stress and anxiety is getting to me, and I just need 3 days on the Oregon coast or something. But it's just like you just gotta wait. Although I hear April 15th is the day that they open it to everyone, so that's so close. Of course, now Biden's pushing everyone to wait 12 weeks instead of 3 for the second shot because he wants everybody to get the first. I don't know, man. I just want to be vaccinated. Yesterday, I was terrified I had COVID. Turns out I just hadn't slept. Like, I don't know. I have this dry cough and I'm having trouble breathing. And I was like, do you have tummy troubles? I'm like, what do you mean? It's like explosive diarrhea. I'm like, is that a COVID symptom? It's like, yeah. I'm like, that's weird. I didn't know that. But I looked it up and she's right. Got some weird ass symptoms to this thing, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically like the flu, where you have like a bunch of different crap going on.
Yeah, but like losing the smell and taste is weird to me, and the mental fog is.
Oh. Well, I feel like a lot of those symptoms too can just kind of be lumped in together. Like fatigue is one of the symptoms, and mental fog is one of the symptoms, and they're kind of basically like the same thing.
Yeah.
Or like one encompasses the other,
Yeah. I hear you. I just don't want to get it. We're at the finish line, Vito. We're so close.
But honestly, if you don't have a fever, that's like the number one symptom.
I know. That's what made me calm down because I looked it up and it's like the site I was on, whatever it was like this percentage of people have this symptom, this percentage, and like fever was like greater than 99% of cases have a fever. I'm like, okay, well I don't have a fever, so I'm fine. Like, oh. Oh my gosh, my kitten is chasing her tail. I guess I can't call her a kitten anymore because it was their birthday yesterday, so my cats are 1 year old. My cats are 1 year old. Full-grown lady cats now. Still doing
I feel like you
stuff.
can call your pets whatever you want, though.
I'm calling them kitten forever.
I mean, that's kind of what I did with my dog,
Yeah.
Just gonna tell your puppy.
Cat had to get scolded yesterday because she wanted to play with my glasses like it was a cat toy. And I'm like, please don't back them onto the floor. They're expensive, and I need them. And you have so many cat toys. It's nothing but cat toys in here,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. It's allergy season, too.
Oh, God, yeah.
That's the other thing that's
really
tripping me up, is like, oh, no, I coughed up some phlegm. Oh no, do I have COVID? Oh wait, it's April. It's probably just allergies. God damn it.
Well, for me, like, I've had allergies so much, and I also like you get like a very specific feeling with colds.
Yeah.
And so like I can feel the difference between having allergies and a cold.
Yeah.
It's like a itchiness versus
yes.
versus a like I don't know, sick feeling. I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah. For me, it was really like the allergy combined with the not sleeping well, that made me just feel
For
like,
sure, yeah.
do I have a cold? And then I took a 3-hour nap, and I'm like, nope, I was just tired. Okay. Oh, man. Just gotta start taking, I don't know. Ara takes Benadryl to help her sleep. I do that sometimes, but I don't want to become dependent on stuff like that. My cat is in a mood right now.
Yeah, I would totally use Benadryl if you can't go to sleep because of allergies specifically as well.
Yeah.
Like I've been doing a lot of Benadryl lately, but also using Flonase and antihistamine when I need to. Like I'm having Flonase as like the main thing, and then if during the day while on Flonase I still have symptoms of like allergies, then I'll use antihistamine and hopefully it'll last most of the day. And then like if I'm still having symptoms at night, and then it's like I know it's going to stop me from sleeping well, I'll take a Benadryl.
Yeah. For me, it's mostly the dust and a little bit of pollen. Ara is like, it's grass pollen 100%. So, like, very much, I can tell how bad the pollen is based on how much Ara is sneezing in the morning. You look up the reports, like, oh, yep, grass pollen, 100%.
Yeah, mine's the trees, and I'm getting wrecked.
Yep. The cherry blossoms are out. My neighbors, we have a cherry tree that fruits, and the neighbors have an ornamental cherry blossom tree, and their tree flowers like a few weeks before ours, and it's flowering right now. And I swear to God, I keep thinking it's snowing because all the
That's funny.
blossom petals keep falling, and I'm like, oh no, it's just the cherry blossom tree again. Oh, it's a blizzard. No, it's the cherry blossoms. It's the cherry blossoms. It is. It does feel, like you said, you feel like a samurai when you're like walking down the street and you're being coated in cherry blossom petals,
Yeah.
It is a cool little effect. For sure. Ugh, I want to go to Japan. But see, here's the problem. I know I want to go to Japan, but I know I want to go for like a month. Well, besides the pandemic, right? The pandemic is almost over. Like,
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Resilient. What do you mean?
I mean, it's not going to be over, like, ever, probably. It's going to turn into, like, the flu.
Well, okay, but it'll be managed, now that the adult population is going to be fully vaccinated by the end of May. I thought Biden was crazy, but he's on track to do it somehow, so... All right.
Well, I mean, it's not going to be the entire population because there's still going to be a shit ton of anti-vaxxers and shit.
Well, yes, okay, but I know. Don't even get me started.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I don't. Yeah. That's all. Yeah.
Yep.
My uncle is a lawyer for pharmaceutical companies. I can't remember which one he works for, but he's worked for J&J and Merck and Pfizer in the past, and I'm sure he works for one of them now. And he is like the most vigilant anti-vaxxer I know. Like he's all over the place. Like no. In opposition, anti-vaxxer, you could say.
Okay. I was like, wait, what? He works for the vaccine companies and is also an anti-vaxxer.
Let me rephrase. He is the most vigilant anti-vaxxer.
Yeah. Okay. That makes a lot more sense.
Correcting info, and I'm like, and I tell him, I'm like, Bill, who are you posting this for? Like, I don't think any of your followers.
Right.
All for this shit. And he's like, Joe, you don't understand. I went to high school with a lot of these people. They're out there. And I'm like, oh man, I live in a bubble. I know. I live in a bubble.
Yup.
I got in a spirit debate with my sisters last week about their stance on socialized gatherings,
Yup.
I'm just going to say this one time. This whole idea of social pods is a myth. They are not safe in any way, and you are lying to yourself if you think that is a safe way to spend time with people, all right?
Yeah.
Also, one other thing. It is not safe to hang out in a maskless gathering outdoors. It is less dangerous. That is not the same thing.
Yeah.
It is less dangerous to drive 100 miles an hour in a blizzard than it is to drive 200 miles an hour. Neither is safe. That is all.
Yeah.
That is all. That's some of the nonsense I need to correct. Look, I understand that people have social needs, and if you are, especially if you're, I can't imagine, like I have Aura, And that really maintains all the, social interaction I need. I'm sure you're the same way with Jane. I can't imagine being single, especially if
Also,
you were like a social
my life
butterfly.
hasn't changed because most of my socializing is online anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we went full remote, and sometimes I wish I was still in a classroom, but it really is not that big a change for us,
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand that. And I understand that if you need to, especially if you're like someone who very much is reliant on their family to fulfill their emotional and social needs, and you're like, I can't not hang out with them. I'm like, that's fine, but like, don't justify your actions like you're being safe, because you are not. Like this, you've taken an acceptable risk to you. Sure, I can approve that, but like, don't get mad when someone points out that you're not being safe. That's all.
Yeah.
Like when I worked on commercial fishing boats, right? It was a dangerous fucking job. There's no way around it. Every day my life was in danger. I was aware of that, and people would point that out, and I wouldn't get defensive. I'm like, no, it's not that bad. I'm like, no, it really is, but whatever. I need the money, and it's a fun adventure, so whatever,
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, there's also the theory that, like, the older you get, the more risk averse you get. So that's probably why most of those observers are in their early 20s, because they have no risk aversion. They think they're going to live forever, but whatever. I still can't believe I did that for 10 years and never going back. That was crazy. Or I can't believe it. She's like, I can't believe you were on fishing boats for so long. That's crazy. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's life.
Life is strange.
Ayo, callbacks. Callbacks. What have you been playing, Vito?
Mostly like WoW on raid nights, Valheim, and Here's the Storm. So, the usual.
I beat the first boss in Valheim, and then I actually was getting into it. I'm like, I'm going to go exploring, and I expanded my camp, and then I'm like, ooh, it's actually really easy to build a simple little camp. I built like 3 of them, and then I kept going further and further, but then I just stopped, and I'm like, I'm done with this for now. And I haven't gone back. It's all been Monster Train and Loop Hero, and then this weekend was, Tell me why.
Yeah. Like I said before, I'm pretty sure I would have dropped Valheim if I wasn't also playing with other people.
Yeah. I didn't really see the appeal, and it was fun, but it's just, I don't know. It's not my kind of game.
Because it's really hard to do anything in that game. And,
well, ever since you told me
you really
about
have to, prepare and stuff.
Crouch and run buttons, that was a game changer,
Yeah, oh my god. But, playing with other people, it's like, oh, you have, one person can go gather materials while the other one's building, and someone can shoot from range while somebody's up at melee with a shield.
Yeah, there you go.
There's some pretty good stuff you can do that's nice and fun and stuff.
And you can share all the tips and tricks you figured out,
all the different tips and tricks, all the different buildings and armor.
Like what you told me about removing the floor. I would have never figured that out. Really? I can't put the campfire because there's floor tiles here?
I know, that took me so long to figure out. Actually, it didn't take me very long to figure out because the first campfire I did was outside.
Yeah.
As I was figuring out how to build a shelter in general. And then
I also figured out if you build a shelter and put the bed kind of near the entrance, if you just leave a wall empty like a lean-to, and then just put the campfire outside, that qualifies. Okay.
You can actually have it be completely closed off with the fire outside. As long as the fire has a roof, it won't get rained on.
Oh.
And the warmth is basically just a radius from where the fire is.
And once you pointed out, I didn't realize how big the health boost was when you eat. It's insanely huge. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah,
really
that's the main thing for that game is making sure you always have food and stuff. So because it quadruples your stamina bar too.
Yeah.
If you eat the right foods, and if you hover over the foods, it'll tell you how much stamina and health each one does. So you can go more stamina or more health or whatever.
Also that I could repair tools. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Game changer.
Yeah.
Now I can just spend all my resources building more arrows. Being an archer. Although I'm really bad at the archery. Something about I don't know, man.
I was really bad at it for a while too, and then I started getting really good at it. Like,
There's not good tracking on what's happening with my arrow. And also like the fact that
well, you
if it
should
hits a
generally
bush,
be able to see where it lands. Oh, also you can change. There's a in the settings. It's not going to change it that much, but I it really made a slight difference. You can change. I can't remember what it's called, but like view distance or something.
okay.
Where like you know how things like pop in as
Yes.
you like get closer, it'll increase the distance that happens from. So you'll be able to see things farther away. But also, in general, when you're shooting, it's way more accurate if you hold it, obviously.
Yes.
But also, there's wind factors. So if you notice it, like, not a lot of wind factor, but especially if you're close enough, like the further away it is, the harder it is to hit and stuff like that.
It was the fact that if it hits a sapling, it just destroys it. I'm like, you could have gone through that foliage arrow. Like, get out.
Oh yeah, that's funny. And then also, like, when you get better bows, they get
Okay.
like stronger, I guess. So they like fly straighter.
Yeah, I noticed the drop is pretty dramatic. He's not that far away.
Yeah.
Come on.
But also, eventually, you get used to like how far away it is for the drops and stuff, and you can peg stuff from pretty far away.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, I was like on a high from sniping things so well for like it was me and this other guy, and we went out into this really dangerous area, and there's this enemy that is like a really tiny flying thing that's supposed to like be like a mosquito basically, but like a really large one, and it was like way across the way, and we were looking for them because if they get they really suck if they see you first, but if you snipe them, they die instantly. And so yeah, it was like all the way across the way, and I was like, and it just fucking popped, and it was great.
Nice.
And we just kept doing that over and over again. It was great.
Nice.
I'm like, wow, I'm actually like pretty good at this now.
Is there a way to dive while swimming?
There's no way to go underwater as far as I know.
Well, that's dumb.
You use stamina while swimming, but if you stand still, you don't. That's another thing that's really great about playing with other people too, is if there's somebody else driving the boat and you fall off the boat, then they can drive the boat to you so you don't just die.
You often fall off the boat?
Well, I guess if you're the one driving, you wouldn't fall off the boat. But if you're like running it, if you're just hanging out, you can like accidentally run or jump off or something.
I see.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often, but it's nice when like, or if you like are trying to jump onto the boat from the land and you miss, and stuff like that. But I guess that's more of a thing for like multiplayer anyway, because you wouldn't be getting onto a boat that's already moving.
You remind me of like Assassin's Creed Odyssey or Valhalla. There were some times when like the boat was in the docking animation and I would be impatient, so I would try to jump to the dock, but it was too far away. So I would catch the edge and then the boat would squish me. It's like, you died. I'm like, God damn it. Oh man. Ugh, now I just want to go play.
But yeah, it's actually like, I think once you get used to it, it'd be pretty good, and it's way better with more people, I think, too.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I'm into like Sims and strategy games, you know, the ones that really don't translate well to not mouse and keyboard. That's really what I got.
Yeah, totally.
For. Like Valheim, I know I can't because it's not out, but I could easily
Civ.
play that with it. Exactly. I could easily play that with a controller. I don't know if I told you. I installed Civ 6 because it was super cheap and I love Civ games. And I tried to play it, and I've played Civ 5 a lot. And I'm like, I do not understand anything that's going on. Like, what the hell? There's a civics tree now, and I have to, like, create a religion. My workers can only do 3 actions before they die. Where's my automate workers button? I was so reliant on the automate workers button, Vito. I'm like, I got to play the tutorial to figure this shit out.
It's been a long time since I played Civ.
I got my ass kicked. I'm like, all right, I'm coming back. They're fun, yeah. I also saw a review for the Stardew Valley board game, and I'm like, ooh, maybe I'll go play Stardew Valley again. I was like, this is the cutest board game ever, and I'm like, have you not seen the video game it's based on? Kitty, kitty, kitty. That and, like, you know, I'm a weirdo. Like, I bought this new, what you call it? I bought this new gaming PC, so I'm like, I gotta play on my gaming PC. But then, like, I feel bad that I'm not using my PS5. like, what am I talking about? Oh. Like,
Well, it's one of those things where, like, you know, I bought this thing, I should use it, you know?
yeah.
But my consoles, I have PlayStation 4, and I have
The Switch.
the Switch, and I don't play either of them.
Yeah.
Like, basically at all. I just don't have enough time to play all these different video games.
Exactly. My Switch has become my workout machine. I just use it for Ring Fit. I moved it to the spare bedroom because I have more room to move around. Although I scared the crap out of my kitten the first time. She like hid like it was thunder. I had to like entice her out. And I'm like, girl, it's just me. It's just me running in place. All right. Well, excuse me, kitten. I got my car back this weekend, and then I was a little nervous because the weatherproofing still seems loose, which was the entire reason I brought it into the shop. So I'm waiting for it to rain, and if it leaks the first time it rains, I'm going to call them up, and I'm going to be pissed off.
Is that the same place that, towed your car away, weirdly?
No, well, the tow, I mean, it's where they towed it, but that wasn't the people who towed it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was like whoever, you know, State Farm roadside assistance contracted to tow it. That guy wasn't wearing a mask, and, you know, epic disasters. Yeah. No funsies. So, yeah. I'm hoping everything is good to go. I just don't want my car to leak. It's also old. I could always buy a new one. Who knows? Who knows? It is a little off-putting. I don't know. Spitballing now. I don't want to pay for a new car. I like having this car we got for free.
Oh, you got it for free?
Yeah, it was Ara's mom's. When Ara's mom gets a new car, she gives Ara the old car. So before
cool.
this one, she had a Subaru, and now she has this Prius. And I'm sure when Ara's mom gets bored of her RAV4, we'll have that. Although I don't really like Gail's current car. I've driven it before. It's like, first of all, I don't like SUVs, even little SUVs. I think they're too humongous. I like sedans. I prefer the seated position, you know, and the view of the road. Also, like, considering how much room is in the space, there's like no space, or room is in the cockpit or whatever you want to call it. There's like no space to put stuff. There wasn't any good ledge for my phone at all. Like, I tried it in like 4 or 5 different little holders, and it just fell off all of them. And I'm like, can we just not have like a normal cup holder? Like, why does everything have to be annoying right now? Granted, the fact that it had a Bluetooth connection was nice, because then I could just play my podcast right from my phone, you know? Unlike my current
there you go.
one that has a CD player. I don't know, man. Buying a car is a rite of passage. That will truly make me feel like an adult.
Yeah, I still don't have my license.
Neither does my wife. But you guys grew up in the city, man. You don't need it.
Yep.
Do you plan to stay in Seattle, like, long term?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then fuck it. Because, like, if we do end up moving to the country, then I was like, I'll definitely get my license then. But really isn't necessary here, you know?
Yeah.
You know. I really don't mind driving the car. And I don't like sharing. So my students all made fun of me because, like, I had to go pick up my car on Friday, and my biggest concern was, like, the people who drove it are going to have moved the seat, and I hate that. I hate when people move the seat in my car because then it never feels right. And people are like, this is, like, the first world problems, Joe. And I'm like, yeah. So, like, if Ara had her license, funny. She's so much shorter than me, then, like, we'd be fighting the seat all the time, you know?
True.
You know. I mean, sometimes when we go on like the 4 to 6 hour road trips, I would like to share the load, but really, what is that, like 3 times a year? I mean, you know, it's really not a big deal. Oh, goodness. Goodness. All right. Well, I'm out of topics. I don't know about you. Anything exciting coming up? I want to play this Disco Elysium game now that it's on consoles. That might be what I do with the rest of my day.
Yeah, I've heard that one's pretty good.
Yeah, the Final Cut, the like console remake came out this week, and it's on discount. It's like $30, which is pretty cheap. That might keep me entertained for a while. I don't know. The other part of me is like, I have like this. I feel bad if I start a game and I don't finish it. You know, and I'm like, I don't know where that comes from. I'm like, I just have to abandon that. You know. But like, I was playing Trails of Cold Steel 4.
I think it's just like if you grew up poor, and you have an attachment to anything that you buy, and you just don't want it to like lose value over time, but it will. You know.
Yeah. I don't know. It's also a part of like respect the artist. Like, you know, they put in all the time and effort. I should see this thing through.
That too, yeah.
That's why I sit through the credits every time. Although I don't really know that I'm respecting the artist because I don't even look at them. But I let them play, you know. That's why it always drove me nuts on like TNT or whoever started doing this, or USA, when they zoom the credits at triple speed, and then eventually they started playing ads over them. So like they'd be in like one corner of the screen going at quadruple speed. I'm like, this is insane, you guys. This is very rude. It's very rude to the people who put in time to make this movie that you're showing with added commercial breaks and cutting out all the fun parts, you know?
Mm-hmm.
God, I don't miss those days. Remember when you used to watch movies on television, on cable television? Like
God, yeah, and all the fucking commercials.
With commercials?
Constantly.
Yeah, like, oh my God, get out of
here. It'd be like 2 minutes of show, and then like 15 minutes of commercial, and then 2 minutes of show.
Or they would like wrap it up, like it was part of like, I think on USA it was called Dinner and a Movie. So there was like a comedian hosting the event, and they'd go to them like every half an hour. Like, I don't need this person's. Can I just watch the movie? Oh man, I'm so glad those days are over. I don't miss cable. I like the online digital environment. I just wish. I wish we could settle. Like, all right, I get that. Like, everybody wants to have their own streaming service, fine. I subscribe to like 5 of them at this point. But can we just pick what show is going to be on which service? Can we like stop moving around? Like, that's the part that really drives me nuts. Like,
yeah,
Ara was trying to watch Harry Potter, and it was on HBO, and then it wasn't, and then it was on Peacock, and then it wasn't, and then it was back on HBO again, and then it was back on Peacock again, and she's like, "This is ridiculous." I'm like, I know.
You know what? I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it was a combination of 2 things. If it was a deal that gave the like artist more money, but also a deal that basically made it so that each company was like basically swapping it around on purpose in order to like keep subscriptions.
Maybe. I mean, I feel like with what's it called? What's that show called? I just said. Oh, with Harry Potter specifically, I think that they have an exclusive cable deal with. I think it's USA. That USA has exclusive rights to Harry Potter films in December. So like, you can only watch it on USA, so you can't stream it.
It's so weird,
right? I think that's what happened.
That is one of the things that I liked about getting movies back in the day, though, was that you literally just bought the movie and then you owned it and you could watch it anytime, no matter what.
Yeah, I know. That is true. Like, nothing I own has a fucking disc drive in it anymore.
Like, we don't actually own anything. We're basically like semi-permanently renting stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, you're leasing it or whatever. You're signing a license agreement to use it. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
because if like Steam breaks, I can't play Valheim.
Or if you have a situation like Sony just announced they're shutting down the PS3 and PSP and Vita store, so you can't buy PS3 and Vita games anymore. Not that anyone was, but those games are just no longer available to you. That's a big library, you know.
Yeah.
The people who are for like digital preservation and stuff are really mad about this.
I mean, that's where, gosh, what are they called again? Emulators. That's where emulators come in.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I mean, I think everybody on all sides of those debates needs to chill out. Like, you know, Nintendo goes hard after the emulator sites all the time. But at the same time, like, well, Nintendo, then put the games up. I don't understand why you're doing this thing with your, like, digital game service where you put one up, like, every 3 months. Like, just put the library out. Like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
But no. Nintendo especially has been going down the old Disney Vault strategy where they, like, I'm sure you saw all the memes about Nintendo murdering Mario or whatever.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, they had this collection. It was 3D collection or whatever. It was Mario 64, Galaxy, and Sunshine, all in one package. But it was only like you can't buy it anymore. They took it off their digital store on March 31st because that's the end of Mario's 25th birthday. So it was available for 6 months, and you just can't buy it anymore. And there's like legit zero reason to do this outside of creating artificial demand. It's what Disney used to do in the 90s with the Disney Vault, where like classic films, you could only buy them in like 4-month windows, and then they would go back in the vault, and you'd never know when you can buy them again. You know, it creates artificial scarcity, right?
Yeah.
But it's a digital good. It's so stupid. Like, there's literally just turn on sales again. Like, like, you can't even make the excuse of trying to produce it. It's digital, man. It's digital. Who knows? Maybe Nintendo will get into the NFT game. You know, the number of people who have asked me to explain NFTs to them, I swear to God.
Hey, Joe.
Do you not know what NFTs are, Vito?
Oh, what's an NFT?
Oh my God. You know about Bitcoin and crypto? NFTs are the evolution of crypto. An NFT, or non-fungible token, is basically a piece of digital. It's proof of digital ownership, or proof of ownership of a digital good. So they're built on the blockchain. They're backed by Ethereum, which is the second largest crypto after Bitcoin. And essentially, it's like a serial number for a piece of digital art to prove that you own it, right? The reason they're blowing up right now is a couple of reasons. There's been some art auctions for digital art with NFTs that have been going for absurdly high prices. And there's this thing called NBA Top Shot, wherein you can own an NBA highlight, like LeBron James dunking on someone. You can own the NFT associated with this highlight. And then there's like this huge secondhand market where these things are selling for thousands to millions of dollars.
Wow.
Which is, again, so stupid because, first of all, this is digital art and, you know, like YouTube highlights. Literally anyone can go watch the highlight on YouTube, right? Yeah. Literally anyone can look at this piece of digital art, but you own it because you own the token. Now, you know, some of the arguments against it is, first of all, it's so made up, it's completely meaningless. Well, the counterpoint to that is that all currency is completely made up and meaningless. Things have value because people think they have value. Like, the dollar isn't backed by the gold standard. It means nothing. Dollars are worth money because people think dollars are worth money, right? It's that all economics is built on faith. So that's argument doesn't hold any weight, right? The real argument against them, and the thing nobody wants to talk about, is how environmentally destructive it is to create NFTs and all cryptocurrency. I forget the exact statistic, but the amount of energy required to produce one Ethereum coin, which is the crypto that's backing NFTs is equivalent to what a British household would use in a year. All right, something like that. It's insane. Like, so.
Yeah.
Just the energy cost for the computational power. And because of the way the blockchain algorithm works, it only gets more complex as more and more of these things are made. So the energy cost is only going to increase exponentially. So, yeah. So be it. It's the end of the world. It
Yep.
just feels like just like the newest nonsense that the tech bros are into, you know?
Yep.
And who knows? Whatever. I made like $1,000 trading crypto, so I can't complain.
Nice. I wish I knew more about all these weird fucking markets where you can just like make money out of thin air.
Well, that's the thing, though. You can't. I mean, I don't know, man. People are terrified of the crypto market because it's so deregulated, you know?
I mean, isn't that fucking what Wall Street does and they just get bailed out?
Yeah, but if you're
Same thing.
invested in the stock market, there are protections in place. Like, people can't just steal your investments, right? Or just change the way that it works, you know? Like, there's some serious regulation and backing for that. Same thing, like, if you put your money in the bank and the bank goes under, you get to keep that money. That's what the FDIC does, up to a certain point, right?
Yeah.
Cryptos are completely deregulated, which means, for example, not that this is ever going to happen because the market cap is so absurdly high, but like if a single person suddenly owned 51% of all Bitcoin, then they basically control the entirety of it because it's decentralized. There's no governing body, so they can do whatever the fuck they want. All right? That's why it's scary. Amongst other reasons. We don't need to go into crypto politics all of a sudden. Though we've already. If my mom made it
there's
this
also
far,
like, if there's so little regulation about it, couldn't people just stop using it and then all the money of the person who owns it is worthless?
Yep, that's one of the other concerns. Is Bitcoin really sells itself as a digital currency that's going to be used to pay for stuff, but because of the limited supply and the inherent value, no one is buying things with Bitcoin. That would be an insane thing to do because the price keeps skyrocketing, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, it's over $50,000 a coin right now, which is insane. Like, a year ago, it was at $8,000 a coin, you know? So, there's no way. There was this great meme that was circulating from, like, a fighting game tournament in, like, 2009, where first place was $200 gift card. Second place was a $100 gift card. Third place was $25 worth of Bitcoin. So that person who finished in third place is like a billionaire now.
That's fucking hilarious.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's insane.
Man, imagine being that lucky though, where like
That's what I would
just
do, man.
randomly happen upon something that becomes a shit ton of money later.
I mean, that's what I would do. If I had a time machine, fuck the sports almanac or whatever. I'd go back to like 2008 and buy like $1,000 worth of Bitcoin when it was trading at a cent a piece, and then come back to now and sell it at $50,000 a pop. You know, that's the way to go.
Or even just like a few months ago with fucking the stock market with that one thing.
The GameStop.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Was that last month?
That was January, I think.
Fuck, dude. I think January's last month.
It's April.
What is time?
It's motherfucking April. Did you see that they released a GameStop stocks Fortnite skin? They announced it on April Fool's Day, but it's not a joke. It's real. It's that Stonks guy, and like your
That's fucking
backpack
hilarious.
is an arrow.
That is so Fortnite.
Oh, man, I thought it was a joke. All right, let's wrap this up. My voice is tired. This has been episode 120, I believe, of the BBBC, Beefy Boys Bud Club. And we'll see you knuckleheads eventually. I stopped saying next week because we have such an irregular release schedule. One day soon, we can do this in person again.
I mean, I feel like we've only skipped a couple of episodes, and that was a bit ago.
I don't know.
I feel like there's usually at least you and me.
That's true. I feel like our 2021 release schedule has not been consistent, but I don't have any proof backing that up. So maybe I'm just being dramatic. All right, let's wrap it up. See you knuckleheads next week.
There you go.